Hi guys, Witchfinder here. In this video I'm going to run through my top 10 light tanks available to buy in Tank Force. Light tanks are your best bet for getting silver in the game. I'm going to do a mix of premium tanks and standard tanks. So let's jump straight into the top 10. At number 10, I've gone with the LT25 Kurgan. It's not the most exciting tank available at that level, and there are better light tanks available at that level, but it's got a good amount of armor on it. It does reasonable damage and it's reasonably fast. It's a good workhorse, definitely worth buying, good tank. At number 9, I've gone with the T18 Pesets. This is the only level 11 light tank, and to be honest, it's a bit disappointing. It's got a huge amount of armor. It's got over 17,000 armor, but it does around about the same damage as a level 8 Black Eagle. And for the price and time it takes to upgrade it, it's a bit disappointing. It's a good tank, but just the cost to get it to be a good tank possibly isn't worth it if you're playing at that level. Unless you've got silver to burn, it's probably worth avoiding, but it is a good tank. At number 8, I've gone with the tier 2 tank, the Type 63. This is a great starter tank. It's almost got the characteristics of a medium tank, but it is still a light tank, so it will earn you silver. It's a very fast upgrade and it's very powerful for the level. If you can fully upgrade it, you will compete perfectly at that level. Great amount of armor, great amount of damage. It's a little bit slow, but so is virtually every other tank at that level. Definitely worth getting. At number 7, I've gone with the M8 AGS. This is probably the best tier 9 light tank available in the game. It's got a good amount of armor, it does a good amount of damage, it does good speed. It's not particularly an exciting tank to play with, but it is a good workhorse and definitely worth buying. At number 6, I've gone with the BTR 82A. This is another tier 9 tank. It's not quite as good as the M8, but it is way more fun to play with. It doesn't have quite as much armor, it doesn't do quite as much damage, but it is so fast, and the RPM on it is so high. It is just great fun to play with it. And it is what a light tank should be. Fast, agile, with a really high RPM. Great fun, great tank. At number 5, I've gone with the Type 63M. This is a very good tier 10 light tank. It could almost be classed as a medium tank with its characteristics. It's got the highest amount of armor out of all the tier 10 light tanks. It's just a very solid workhorse, definitely worth buying. At number 4 is the first premium tank on the list. It's the tier 7 tank, the Stingray. This is a very good tank for the level. It's very agile, very fast, it's got a very sleek design, it's got a good amount of armor for the level, it's got just under 8,000 armor, does a good amount of damage, definitely worth getting, great tank. At number 3, I've gone with the tier 8 tank, the Type 63 AII. This is a fantastic light tank, and it's the first light tank in the game that has a great amount of armor, so it can compete with heavy tanks. It does a great amount of damage. It's got good speed, good maneuverability, definitely worth buying. At number 2, I've gone with the premium tier 4 tank, the BMP4. This is a great little tank and a great starter tank. It can do incredible damage for the level with the advanced napalm. It's got a good amount of armor for a light tank of that level, and you will see this tank being used up to tier 11 because it just sets things on fire with no remorse. It's got good RPM, it does good damage, and it's reasonably fast. Definitely worth getting. And at number 1, I think everybody knows my favourite light tank is the tier 10 tank, the Bradley. This is everything a light tank should be. It's fast, agile, it's got an incredibly high RPM, over 70 with camo and decal. It does great damage, and it is just incredibly fun to play with. At the end of the day, this is a game, and this is a really fun tank to play with. So that's my number 1, that's my top 10. I'd love to hear in the comments if you disagree or if you agree, or if I've missed off a tank that should be in the top 10. Let me know. Continue to have fun in the game.